I don't believe that parents and their adult children are ever fully equal, and I'm going to tell you why. First, let's look at what we mean by equal. If we're talking about equal in terms of legal rights, autonomy, human dignity, then yes, parents and their adult children can and should be equals. Adults are no longer dependent children. Ideally, both parties would engage in having mutual respect, boundaries, and reciprocity. In a healthy relationship, adult children are not necessarily beneath their parents just because they are their children. But when we're talking about equal in terms of emotional dynamics, power, or psychological roles, the answer is usually no. And I can back this up with some evidence. Parental power structures still exist even in adulthood. Even when the child becomes an adult, many parents consciously or unconsciously continue to see them as the child. Bowen family systems theory identifies this as the parental projection process. This is where parents continue to exert influence, especially in emotionally enmeshed or hierarchical families. According to Murray Bowen, many families fail to adapt to changing roles, which can lead to differentiation issues where the adult child is not fully seen as a separate autonomous adult from the parent. Emotional roles are often fixed in childhood. Psychologist Virginia Satir noted that families assign roles like the hero, scapegoat, or caretaker, which can persist into adulthood unless they are consciously disrupted. Adult children often revert to these roles when interacting with their parents, and this can lead to uneven emotional labor and a lack of perceived equality. Research on estrangement also confirms this inequality. In many studies on estrangement, adult children cite reasons like being treated as the child and emotional invalidation or a lack of respect for boundaries. Research by Carl Pillemer, the author of Fault Lines, shows that some parents struggle to accept their children's independence, especially when it threatens the parent's sense of authority or identity. In his interviews, adult children often describe being parented well into their 30s or 40s, not out of care, but out of a need to control. I have noticed as a therapist that many adults report that their parents continue to see them in this childlike role. And while they want them to behave as adults, they also want them to behave as children at the same time, creating an impossible to navigate situation.